What's up YouTube, Blue Collar Success here, and today I'm going to be talking about 19 different places you can sleep in your truck if you're on a mobile welding job that's outside of your general area that you normally service, and where can you sleep in your truck, or what's a good place to, safe place I guess, to sleep overnight if you are on a big job that requires travel. Now, I've never been a rig welder or nothing, but I have traveled not that far where I needed to stay, but I have traveled for other work, and yeah, I just want to go over some of the options that you have in case any of you have jobs that are, maybe 5-6 hours away and you don't want to drive home after that job, which may take 8, maybe a whole week, who knows. But so let's get right into it. Next, first one is rest stops and truck stops. Now this is pretty safe. There's a lot of truck stops around, the United States, in the States in general, and there's tons of options there. And if you're carrying a trailer or an RV or camper, you're pretty much set. And they're pretty safe, and they usually got food and showers and bathroom and stuff like that. Next isn't really the case anymore because of COVID, but Walmart parking lots. I wouldn't recommend it. It's kind of sketchy at times, but I guess if it's 24 hours and you got nowhere else to go and you got to get sleep, I mean, that's an option. Next is casino parking lots. I have a casino near me that you can park in the parking garage for free. You can maybe, play a little bit of gambling and then get a ticket for parking, and then you basically be set for the night and you could sleep there, and that's pretty secure because they have security cameras, they have security guards walking around. It's in a pretty well lit area that's pretty populated, so it's unlikely that someone will break into your car, but you never know. Next one is welcome information or information centers. Again, I wouldn't recommend this. This isn't when they close early, but and then you have more potential of getting your car broken into or robbed or something. But worst case scenario, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. Next is religious buildings. I've never done this before. I never really knew if this was possible, but hey, this is a list that was online, and I figured I'd kind of go over it to see and also what you guys think about it. But maybe a church, or I don't know, in my area you'd probably get a ticket if you parked overnight at a church, but maybe if it's more secluded, not many people would notice. Next is BLM land, which is pretty much public, Bureau of Land Management land, so that's a potential possibility. Next is residential neighborhoods. This one's kind of risky as well. However, in my city you can buy a parking pass for the year for pretty cheap. I think it's like $100, and you can park anywhere on the city streets overnight, which is it depends on what area in the city you're in, but if you're in a decent area, that's not a bad option because there's generally people and there's street lights, and you got to be careful of where you park though. You got to look up the laws and stuff and make sure that you're in a decent area, because you do not want to get robbed or your catalytic converter cut off, or if you have a diesel, your DEF stuff cut off and then someone sells it on the black market. Yeah, the next one kind of ties into that, street parking in the city, but next is large shopping centers and parking lots. This can also be risky, but it's an option. I think the best ones probably are rest stops, truck stops. I'll go over the best ones I think at the end, but you could get a ticket, cops patrol, that kind of stuff, and I guess if you really have to, you could, and you could kind of hide in the back, but it's up to you guys. Next is traditional campgrounds, Airbnb. That's an option. Campgrounds, you could set up a camp. I mean, it depends on the weather. I guess if you want to camp in the winter, that's an option, but winter's a lot harder to sleep in your truck than it is, say, fall or spring when it's decent temperatures out. But in the summer when it's boiling hot, that's kind of difficult. In the winter when it gets, in my area, it gets negative 10, 20, that's not good either. Next is hotel parking lot. That's a pretty good option. You can pretty much stay there, you know, and even if you have to get a hotel, there's some pretty cheap hotels. I was just getting some hotels near my area, and then you can find them. I mean, it all depends on the area you're getting, but a hotel would be pretty safe. And if you have a diesel truck, the hotels by me anyway, since it's winter in upper, you know, parts of the states, it gets pretty cold. They usually have somewhere to plug, you know, your block heater in, which is really nice. And I was just looking up some hotels in a decent area. They got $79 a night, free parking, indoor pool, free Wi-Fi, free breakfast. It's not bad if you think about it. 79 bucks a night. Say your job is a week long and you're making, I don't know, a couple grand, 3-4 grand maybe. It depends on what job you're doing, but say you make, I don't know, 2 grand in 1 week and you spend $400 on the hotel, you know, and then you gotta factor in the consumables and all that. You know, if you make a decent profit still, but you feel like you're safe and car's not going to get broken into, that's definitely worth it. But that's just my opinion. Next would be 24-hour or the safe parking program. I'm not sure what that is, but the next one is 24-hour gyms. This is nice because 24-hour gyms, you can work out, shower there. You know, they have very nice facilities. It's generally pretty safe because generally someone's always there working out, and it also helps you get exercise, and exercise is so important. Next is rent a driveway, parking space, garage. That's an option too. It's very, you know, you can look on Craigslist, you can rent a room for super cheap just for a short period of time, or rent a driveway and just kind of chill there. Cracker Barrel, I didn't know about that one, but maybe that's allowed. Apartment complexes, again, that's kind of risky. You could say you're visiting, you know, a friend there, but if they look into it, you know, it can be kind of risky. 24-hour businesses, industrial parks, and police stations. I wouldn't go to police stations. That's just me. So the best ones, in my opinion, the top 3 would be rest stops, truck stops, street parking in the city, and a hotel. And I guess 24-hour gyms. Those would be my favorite ones that I would pick. Preferably truck stops because they're pretty much free and they're all along the highway, so you got a pretty good chance of, you know, being safe there. And you know, if you got a welder, generator, and a whole rig set up in the back, you do not want to get, you know, your stuff stolen or your locks cut off and your expensive grinders and everything stolen. That would really suck when you're in the middle of a job. So that's why I would recommend a hotel parking lot. I mean, and get a hotel, and if you have to spend the money, or just sleep in your truck. Helps to have a crew cab. Basically a single cab is going to be very difficult for you to sleep because you can't recline your seat back, and you can't have like a sleeper in the back. So that's going to really affect your sleep. I tried sleeping in a single cab before, and it's not very comfortable. So it always helps to have a quad cab, or, you know, extended, at least something where you can lean your seat back a little bit. That's always helpful. So thanks for watching today's video. Just giving you guys some ideas about where, if you are on a travel welding job, where would be some good places to stay or sleep, or, you know, if you're traveling long distances and you just need to rest for a little bit, you don't want to get into a car accident, where would you go? And those are where I would go, and those are just some options. With that, thanks for watching.